Okay, so hi and welcome to cloudwords.net for another exciting interview. And this time I'm speaking with Graham Gaylard. He is the CEO, the new CEO of Mega.co.nz. And Mega is an upstarting storage startup which offers 50 gigabyte of free storage for people to store their files online. But Mega also promises to be, well, a lot more than just storage. And in fact, we are using one of their newest beta features right now. We are actually in Mega Chat and see how that works. And today I'm going to talk about with Graham Gaylard about obviously the service Mega.co.nz. Many of you may have heard also about Mega's history, the famous founder Kim.com, who actually founded the service. I guess it was back in 2012 with a great fanfare. And yeah, so Graham, before we talk about Mega, I would just love to know a little bit more about you, about your business trajectory, because I love to get a little bit about the background of the people I'm talking to. So walk us a little bit through your life as an entrepreneur and now as a CEO.
Yeah, thanks, Mauricio. It's great to talk to you and explain to some of the people about Mega and kind of a little bit about me and where I've been and come from. I started off life pretty much in the electronics, electrical engineering sphere and moved fairly quickly into computer science a number of years ago. I founded several companies on the smaller side compared to Mega, but yeah, mainly tech companies, software engineering type work. I founded a ISP back in 1995, which was quite new for the time, and sort of grew that up and sold that off.
So what year was that?
1995.
Wow, yeah, that was just the beginning, basically, of all the web services, and yeah.
The days of dial-up modems and so forth. I remember them fondly, but so I've sort of been on the internet and around internet applications for about 20 years, and I've started around about 7 companies, and so I guess I'm a tech entrepreneur. Certainly in terms of Mega, I'm a very technical, hands-on type CEO, very comfortable with the technology. But I guess my business life has really come to the foray in the last sort of 7 to 10 years, and I've been more focused on, building tech companies. I'm also chairperson of a incubator in Hamilton, and where we do high-tech startup incubation. So I'm very passionate about helping businesses grow in the technology space. So
interesting.
Yeah,
and the companies you've started before, have you all bootstrapped those companies, or did you go out and get some capital for those companies?
Yeah, all bar one. We bootstrapped everything. I started a genomics software company and raised several millions of dollars, US dollars, in San Francisco and Palo Alto based VCs for that one.
Yeah.
So
what year was that?
Yeah, 2009, at the height of the global financial crisis. We managed to raise.
Incredible. So tell me about that. How did you do that? You just went out and raised some capital. Was that possible? Was that easy? So walk me a little bit through your thinking process.
I believe we were one of 4 companies founded in that month. So in sort of January 2009. So pretty much everyone had shut up shop on the venture capital front because of the GFC. But in late 2008. We had some high-speed genomic processing software, which we decided that to really launch it to the world, we'd have to go and launch that from Silicon Valley. So we got on the plane and went over there and did the traps around the VCs and managed to raise the capital. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I find those processes always very interesting, and I love to learn from experienced software entrepreneurs. But what then led you to actually accept the job at Mega? So you are, I believe, the 3rd or 4th CEO for Mega.
Yeah,
and how did this come about?
It's a bit like Dr. Who, really. It's sort of the 4th Doctor. Quite interesting. I have a company with about 50 people in Hamilton, and it's called Net Value, and we do software, a lot of hosting, a lot of basically web applications development. So Mega was looking for a director to help take the company forward, and they wanted a technical director, and it's really gearing up for for the whole listing process. So I got asked if I would join the board, and went through the interview process, and the major shareholders said, "Look, hey, actually, we're really after a tech CEO." Stephen Hall was the CEO at the time, in more of an interim type fashion, and they said, well, "Look, we really want a tech CEO to take this company forward," and asked me if I'd be interested. And over 2 or 3 months, I considered it carefully, and took up the position.
So why are you the right guy for the job? What makes you the perfect CEO for Mega?
Well, is there such a thing as a perfect CEO? I guess, but yeah, I think technology's in my blood. I'm definitely a tech startup guy. I've got 20 years experience on the internet that I can bring to this. My background is obviously infrastructure and hosting services, so there's a big natural fit. I'm definitely a geek. There's no two ways about that. I think with my startup experience and number of businesses I've started, I think I'm in pretty good shape to take this forward. It's a very exciting opportunity. That's what I like. It's a high growth company with global reach, which is what really spins my wheels. So.
Did the guys at Mega ask the same question? Why are you the right guy for the company? Did it just feel like an actual interview?
It didn't really feel like too much of an interview. It's, when you look at the background, they selected me to sit on the board as a tech director. So I guess they were out seeking, headhunting. So kind of a different. They didn't put out a general advert looking for a CEO.
Exactly. So they approached you and asked you basically. So you were tapped on the shoulder and you said, "Hey, okay, yeah, I might consider the job." Yeah. So okay, you said Mega is an incredible growth. It's in an incredible growth phase right now. Maybe you could talk a little about the service itself and why it is actually growing so fast and why it is getting a lot of PR lately.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to do that. I've just got to be a little bit careful on some of the information I disclose because we're right in the final stages of listing the company on the New Zealand stock market.
Yeah, so, that's also very exciting.
It is very exciting, and there's a lot of work on it at the moment to get that over the line. But it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. So in terms of growth, I think we're putting on around about 1 million customers, user signups a month. Which is quite good. We're number of files uploaded per day is well over per week is well over 100 million, 120, 130 million files uploaded. So there's a big push at the moment inside the company to gear up for handling that storage.
But those are, excuse me if I interrupt for a second, those are obviously free signups that are using the free storage space on Mega, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we're in a high growth phase. We're going for growth, and that's been the strategy of the company to grow the user base as quickly as possible, and then start to offer additional services, which is Mega Chat and then encrypted mail.
How many people are converting to a paid service?
I can't talk about that at the moment. That'll come out in the profile document because it's price sensitive information. So we've got to just be careful about what we release to the public so that the public gets the same information at once. So
yeah, I imagine that. I just try to ask anyway and see how much information I can extract.
That's fine. You almost caught me there.
Okay, continue to talk about the growth and the plans.
Yeah, so at the moment we are growing at a very rapid rate, and it is putting a lot of stress on some of the systems. So we are coping with it and buying equipment very quickly. there's sort of new servers arriving almost weekly, so we've got to manage that very carefully. We're expanding our data centers, so at the moment we've got five data centers, 4 in Europe and 1 in New Zealand. Where the data's stored. So we're looking to expand that around the globe geographically.
Mainly your main task right now is to buy servers or to buy server infrastructure. Is that a key challenge right now?
That's a key challenge, which we're keeping up with. We've got some pretty unique technology, and of course, because of our end user client encryption technology, we can't do anything smart like deduplicate files and that. So we have a natural kind of disadvantage against some of the competitors. Looking into your files and deduplicating on that. So that's a challenge, but we're up for it. That's what we're here for, and we're handling it. We're certainly growing at petabytes per week type thing. So.
So can you comment on the amount of storage that is actually now stored on Mega servers?
I think we'll probably be up to about 50 or 60 petabytes at the moment.
Wow, that's enormous.
Yeah, and it's growing like crazy. So that's good. Some of the other stats I can talk about. We have about 1.1 million simultaneous connections to our servers at any one time. So. So
what is a connection exactly? Is it like somebody connects on the browser to the Mega service, or is uploading a file via the sync client, or is it anything in that? Okay.
Anything. We've got technologies are from web client, browser-based clients with users facility, or all the way through to iOS apps. BlackBerry, even Windows Phone, Android, of course, plus all the native clients on OS X, Windows, Linux. We support, I don't know how many flavors of Linux. It seems like an enormous amount. And then you've got all the language bindings we do. We've got our own SDK source codes all there for people to use and integrate to their apps. So that's each one of those will generate a connection. So that's simultaneously about 1.1 at the moment. We buy about half a terabit of bandwidth at the moment. There's nothing to sneeze at, and also we have about 200 million unique visits to our website a month.
Wow. Yeah. So is the bandwidth actually a challenge right now for you guys?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yep. If you know any cheap bandwidth providers, give me a yell.
Give me a terabyte of bandwidth.
It's good. But the way the system works, people push photos and it synchronizes with their desktop at home and work and things like that. So you've got to have good bandwidth there to provide a good quality service. So.
One of the main value propositions or unique selling propositions of Mega is obviously the security aspect. So what your guys are promising is local encryption of files, so an utmost security for people's files that they upload. That's why you commented also briefly that you cannot offer deduplication service as, for example, Dropbox is offering. And there's been an interesting study that you actually sent me regarding the results of where the study compares Dropbox and Mega, and I actually interviewed Jesus Diaz, who is the lead researcher in this study, and we talked a little bit about his study on cloudwords.net, and it was a very interesting study, and I read it through. I understood only half of it, but the mechanics of how he dissected the different services was very interesting. So maybe you can comment a little bit about on Mega security. You're a technical guy, but maybe you can comment on it in layman's terms so that everybody can understand and know why is Mega security superior to other services.
Yeah, sure. I'm a technical guy, but I'm not a technical crypto guy. So that's like another 3 levels above me again. The technology that Mega's built on is what we call client-side encryption. So the encryption code, the bit that does the work and keeps your file safe, is actually executed on your computer. So what that means is that when data is sent to Mega, for storage. It is already encrypted. And that means that we cannot, Mega cannot see what the data is. It cannot decrypt it for you. Given that, if you lose your password and don't have your master encryption key, then pretty much your data is stuck forever until you remember your password. And one of the key things to differentiate us between other providers is that the user just simply has to ask them, can you reset my password? And if they can reset your password, your data is not secure. It really is that simple.
Exactly. Yeah.
We cannot reset your password. Unfortunately, people have lost their password and haven't backed up their master key. And of course, there's not much we can do about that. That is a price that people pay for that super security. So inside the actual security model, you'll see that the report that you mentioned outlines, that they sort of reverse engineered the code and all the encryption schemes, and that's all open source. So not only from our point of view do we say it's safe, everything is open sourced, and people can look at it and make claims, and we will respond to them. To our knowledge, no one's ever broken into Mega. No one's ever stolen anyone's data, despite what some of the commentary might say. I can assure you that's not the case. If you have a weak password, of course, it can be broken ultimately, but the chances are that you've got to have a strong password and keep it safe. That's just standard security procedure. Now with Mega Chat, the security levels are quite a bit higher than that, and we'll be publishing a paper very soon. We put a blog up about that, about the different encryption technologies. That is, I can assure you, extensive. And
so is the chat that we're using right now, is it encrypted? Is it secure as your standards?
End user encrypted. If a man-in-the-middle attack happened right now, a message would pop up on the screen saying, your credentials have been forged, and what do you want to do about it? Terminate the call, or accept or re-verify the credentials. So, yep, we're on a completely secure channel at the moment.
That's very interesting. So we had the storage part. You offer 50 gigabyte of free storage, encrypted storage, which is an enormous amount. So I mean, most of the people, 50 gigabyte would be enough. So it's actually I guess it must be pretty hard to convince people to pay for your service, because most people won't need more than 50 gigabyte. Are you going to change that limit in future? Can you comment on that?
At the moment, that limit is set. We are introducing a new plan just above that limit. The first payment plan is 500 gigs at €10, but we're introducing a 200 gig plan. That'll be coming out soon, just from basically user feedback. Of course, the price of storage is getting cheaper, and also the sort of data that people want to store is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And so, ultimately, you set it at a price point for free to build the community, and that's what's been done. I can't see that changing anytime soon.
Exactly. So, and then we have the different other platforms Mega is offering, and there were discussions, I remember at the beginning of 2014, I don't know how far the plans have gotten, is like the Mega Music and Mega Netflix and Mega everything, basically. So at first, you guys wanted to be like the go-to resource for all media, and how about those plans? So what is your main focus right now? Which platforms are you actually still considering on building and releasing to the public?
Well, we've got to get Mega Chat out of beta, and we'll be adding the text component of that. And once we do that, that's got to come out on native platforms for mobile, so that we can offer a seamless service that ensures super secure communications. So the whole thrust of the company is privacy. We are the privacy company, and so we want to build a whole collaboration-based platform that enables privacy, and whether that's for personal or business use. So that's Mega Chat's still very much on the development path, and we'll be looking, look for new updates on that. Mega Mail is encrypted end-to-end mail, which is in the design stage at the moment, and that's being worked on. And I think, as a new CEO coming in, sometimes you've got to say no to a lot of things and get the things correct that you said you're going to do.
And there are a lot of legacy products, I believe, that you're now not undertaking anymore. So
yeah, I mean, there's other sort of I'm definitely not ruling them out, but we want to get the base infrastructure right, and we've just been hit with so much growth. The things that are being revealed now. What's happening to people's privacy and data is just spurring on our growth, and there's just a massive worldwide trend to go to services like ourselves. So that's you've got to put that into the mix as well, and we've got to, I guess, what we call Kiwi term, stick to our knitting a little bit and actually do what we said we're going to do and just do it well.
So your focus, if I understood you correctly, is the collaboration part. So you want to build out Mega as a fully fledged collaboration suite, starting with Mega Chat right now, and then branching out to other collaboration tools, to-do list, project management, possibly, and stuff like that, and all that in a very secure and encrypted manner. So this is actually very interesting, because I guess many people are looking for alternatives to Google Docs, for example, where it's not very sure what Google actually does with your data. And for our business, also, this would be like a very interesting option. Are you also going to go into the document management part?
I think it's very sure what Google does.
They want to sell ads, obviously.
I think they make money off selling ads that are targeted. So the only way they're going to do that is looking at your information, which is fine. I mean, they're a great business, but that's the business they're in. So,
okay, I've got one or two more personal questions regarding Mega. Also, what are your personal challenges right now in the company? What are you fighting with, apart from the data center issues that we've commented on before?
Yeah, well, it's the massive push in the company to get us to this listing process, and that is a big exercise. But of course, we're always after good staff and highly capable people. We've got development teams, a number of them based in Europe. We've got a development team in Salamanca and development team in Portugal, and a few other developers around Europe. Some people in Paraguay, but we're always after good people, and we'll look at CVs that come in. Especially people with a passion for what we're doing. Getting good people is always a challenge. So that's definitely one. And I think, the growth and basically getting these products rock solid and getting them out is a challenge with the growth. I mean, the growth is underpinning a lot of work, if you like. It's a sort of the constant thing that always goes on every day, regardless of what you do. So, just imagine, 1,000 or 2,000 people an hour signing up on your service, and it's just relentless. So,
and how does a typical day look like in your life as a CEO? Is there a typical day, something like that?
A typical day is I kind of wake up and I have a mental to-do list, and I kind of write that down of what I'm going to achieve today. I get into Mega, and within 10 minutes, that's thrown out the door.
Do you have any special morning routine to get your day started? So any personal productivity tip or morning routine that you could share with us?
Interesting. I try to go in with a clear head and try and get some objectives outlined about what I want to achieve in the day, and try and achieve one or two good ones.
Nice.
And I think that's just try and get yourself focused in the morning is good. There's always random stuff that seems to happen, but certainly there's a lot of tech stuff focused during the day. I think 80% of our people are in R&D. So probably not many people probably realize that. But 80% of people are developing product and making the service go. So I enjoy talking to them
Yeah,
having
and there's so many more questions I would like to ask, but for now, thank you very much for your time, Graham. And I'm certain when we actually have when Mega releases more products, we may talk in future. And I really hope you stay the long-term CEO for this company. Are there any last words of advice or any last words that you'd like to say to our audience regarding Mega or regarding anything you'd like?
Well, I guess I've started a number of businesses, and I'm very passionate about helping people basically grow technology companies. And I think there's a lot of tech people listening. If it's done right, it's not that hard, and I think everyone should rise to the challenge and build their own tech company if they can. And I just like to promote that, really.
Great. Okay, so thank you guys for listening and watching this interview. I hope you get some insights into Graham Gaylard as a person, but also Mega as a service, and might be considering Mega using as a cloud storage solution for your personal files or even business files. That would be also an option, I guess. Obviously, you can find out more about Mega on our website, cloudwords.net, or you just visit mega.co.nz. Or if you want to try out Mega Chat, you need to sign up for the beta version on mega.nz, I believe, is the domain. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. Actually, if you sign up on either will work.
Okay.
It's the one account.
Great. Thank you very much. And we're going to see us in the next interview.
Thank you very much.